A single prompt used to trigger a single response. Now, that same entry point can initiate a cascade of autonomous tasks that move through a multi-stage workflow without additional human input. Recent updates to the major models show a unified focus on execution. GPT 5.4, Claude Opus, and Gemini are no longer optimized purely for conversation. They are designed to perform the actual labor of a workflow. Microprompting requires you to provide every incremental step of a task. Managerial delegation requires you to define the final objective and oversee the digital system as it determines the necessary path to get there. This process involves 3 stages: mapping a complex task, selecting the specific model for that job, and launching a workflow that runs until the work is finished. To begin, identify one multi-step process you perform daily and ensure you have an active account on a platform capable of tool use and autonomous reasoning. Mastering this transition moves the user out of the operational bottleneck. By providing the context and the tools, you become an orchestrator of a system that functions at a scale beyond manual typing. Step 1 is the workflow audit. You must isolate and define the parameters of your process before interacting with the AI interface. Most complex tasks are actually sequences. First, we extract raw web data. Second, we format that data into a CSV. Third, we generate a written analysis. Each node is a point where the agent accesses tools or calculates independently. If the task is defined with ambiguous language or lacks a clear completion trigger, the agent will likely stall. Success requires a measurable end state. This audit converts a general human goal into a programmatic checklist that the AI can successfully execute from start to finish. With the checklist ready, you must assign the work to a model with the appropriate specialization. We treat this selection as an agent roster. GPT 5.4 is highly optimized for tool search. Claude Opus 4.7 features an architecture built for long-running, heavy-duty coding. Gemini 3.1 Pro reached 77.1% on Arc AGI-2, showing high reasoning capacity. Finally, open-source GLM-5 allows these agentic tasks to run locally. A common mistake is assigning a reasoning-heavy task to a model optimized for rapid data retrieval. Mismatching the model to the task often results in a total workflow failure. Deploying these models based on their architectural strengths, rather than using them as generic text generators, is the defining characteristic of an AI manager. Once the model is selected, open the Settings panel within your AI platform to prepare the environment. You must manually ensure the agentic features are active. Toggle the Tool Search function to On and expand the context window to its maximum capacity. Verify the setup by looking for the UI indicators that confirm the web browser and code interpreter are available. Enabling these specific tools provides the AI with the means to interact with external data without requiring you to copy and paste information. A properly configured workspace empowers the system to act, whereas an unconfigured workspace restricts the AI to simply talking about the task. The final step is to replace sequential back-and-forth prompting with a single comprehensive delegation command. A successful delegation command defines the agent's role, authorizes the use of specific tools, and sets strict parameters for the final output. After submitting the command, you step back. The system is now responsible for the execution. The AI now enters an autonomous thinking state. You can observe it triggering its own subtasks, searching for data, writing code, and compiling the results on its own. Because these steps resolve without your intervention, the workflow is now functioning autonomously. Resisting the urge to intervene during this execution phase is the final test of a successful AI manager. The final output, whether a complete report or a functioning codebase, is produced entirely from that single initial command. Achieving this result through traditional prompting would have required 30 minutes of constant supervision and over a dozen individual prompts. By setting the context and allowing the agent to handle the mechanical labor, you have effectively transitioned from a user to a manager. Identify one multi-step workflow you are ready to hand off today and describe it in the comments below.